Ọhaneze Ndị Igbo worldwide has disclosed that its late President General Professor George Obiozor spoke emotionally about the candidacy of Peter Obi before passing on. News Guru reports Ọhaneze Ndị Igbo worldwide made this disclosure in a statement signed by the group's National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Alex Ogbonnaya. While making the disclosure, the apex sociocultural organization of the Igbo nation in the statement expressed grief over the death of Professor Obiozor. Recall Governor Hope Uzodinma on Wednesday announced the death of the former Nigerian ambassador to the US, aged 80. The group's reaction to Obiozor's death, made available to newsmen in Owerri on Thursday, stated that Ọhaneze received the news of the PG's passing with a heart overtaken by pain and sorrow. Ogbonnaya, in the statement, described Obiozor as a prodigy and an enigma of some sorts, an erudite, reflective scholar of world renown and prophetic intellectual. He further described him as an astute, resourceful administrator, sagacious, Fabian, political submarine, seasoned diplomat, cultural reservoir, detribalized patriots, and jovial cerebral disconcertant. How do you say Igbo? He also stated that the most endearing of the Obiozor's mystic could be summarized in character, the courage of his convictions, steadfastness, and uncompromising commitment to his goals. The statement added that the deceased demonstrated his unassailable commitment to the Igbo people. He stated Obiozor will be remembered as a man who displayed an uncommon intellect, irrepressible courage, candor, tolerance, large heart, and equanimity. He described his personal comforts in the service of Igbo nation. Obiozor was sometimes misinterpreted and misunderstood because of the silent cautious strategy and tactics which he pursued his goal. But behind the great achiever was an uncommon and perfect gentleman of immense proportion. The Obiozor life trajectory is one of the most enviable. He stated as a child in Awomama in Imo, went to the US for further studies, acquired a Doctor of Philosophy, taught in world-class universities, and promoted to a Professor of International Relations. Ogbonnaya recalled that during the last meeting of the group's National Executive Committee in Owerri, Obiozor spoke emotionally about the candidacy of Peter Obi. He pointed out that it would have been a major catastrophe if Obi were not in the race. Above all, Obiozor, in his first World Press Conference as the President General, assured the Igbo that time had come for the age-long collective aspiration of a Nigerian president from the southeast of Nigeria. He stated, he noted that the global academic community has lost a lot with the passing of Obiozor. Ogbonnaya further remarked that Obiozor stood out among his peers for his unique intellectual wizardry, profound sense of humor, extraordinary creative imagination, rationality, clear-headedness, unwavering determination, and incandescent passion. The group condoled with the deceased wife, children, and his immediate family. We take solace in the fact that when a chronicle of Igbo personages will be launched, some leaders will appear in footnotes, while some chapters will be devoted to Professor George Obiozor, it added. CNG reports Obiozor served Nigeria in various capacities, including being the Director General, Nigeria Institute of International Affairs, Lagos, and Ambassador to Israel and Cyprus. He also led the Igbo delegation to the 2014 National Constitution Conference. He was elected the group's PG on February 9, 2021. Meanwhile, the Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi has described the death of the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozor, as a great loss to Nigeria. Obiwu said this via his Twitter handle on Thursday, expressed sadness over the news of Obiozor's death. He said, "I am deeply saddened by the news of the passing of the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Professor George Obiozor. He was a dear elder brother and friend. Professor Obiozor was a patriot, renowned academic and diplomat who served Nigeria and Ohaneze selflessly and diligently. He was witty when healed in history and effusive in his personal charm and warmth. The death of this foremost Igbo leader is a huge loss to the entire Obiozor family, the Ohaneze Ndigbo, and Nigerians in general. On behalf of my family, I commiserate with his family and all who mourn him," he said. Obi prayed God to grant him eternal rest and those he left behind the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo announced Obiozor's death in a statement on Wednesday night. Obiozor, who died at the age of 80, was elected the 10th President General of Ohaneze on January 9, 2021, to succeed Nnaya Nwodo, who exited the office after the expiration of his 4-year tenure. The late Obiozor hailed from Awomama in Oru East local government area of Imo State. Yeah, good things are most of the time being written about people after their death, but that is not the case of those who have done evil. Anyway, late Obiozor is a political illiterate. The way Peter Obi is a political illiterate. They do not know political needs of Igbos, do not represent Igbos. Late Obiozor works for Fulani minority rule over Igbos, the way Peter Obi is working for Fulani minority rule over Igbos. We Igbos stand for end of Fulani minority rule. Now, the way British minority rule ended in 1960, in which Biafra Republic of Southeast is one of the 6 sovereign states, the sword decides. Okay, well, you that you are illiterate, we hear you. Let us see how you are going to go about it. You be correct, Momo. You really do not even have sense. Of course, such great administrators are solely missed as their breed are found irreplaceable. So guys, let us hear your opinion and have your take on this. Thank you.